Welcome to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Anthony. This is your Wrexham reaction for Wrexham AFC, Sutton United. Match day 15, and it's a banger again. I mean, always bangers. This is like the best mixtape of all time watching Wrexham play. Changes were made, and 2-1 Wrexham, Sutton United, 89th minute strike by Elliot Lee, and it's a winner. We just tried to do this live. Now we're going to record it. Something was wrong with the connection, so here we go. We're going to do it over again. Okay, and this is fine. It's all good. This is really good. Elliot Lee to the rescue. He's going to be my man of the match. Some might have put Mullen in there. Others might have put Evans in there. But I think for me, Elliot Lee coming, getting the 3 points at the racecourse ground, for me, I'm giving him man of the match. I'm going to say it up front, and here we go. All right, let's dive into the starting lineups. Some of the changes that were made by Parkinson and what we did first half. First half, we were on top. Second half, it was all over the place, and I would say we were Sutton United came to play. Sutton United are in the basement, and I'll tell you, they did not play like a team that only has 7 points and in 24th place. So I thought they played really well for Sutton, and I think that this is one of those games you get out of there with a W, boom, great. Just like over the weekend, take the point, awesome. You got to take these wins. We've moved up to third, and it's fantastic. So let's talk about that starting lineup. You go a typical 3-5-2 Parkinson went with. We had O'Connell, and Tunnicliffe at the back. On the right, we had Barnett, and on the left, we have McLean. In the middle was Davies. Good to see him getting a start. Evans and Jones, Mullen and Palmer up front. So Tozer was on the bench. Lee was on the bench. Lee did come on, obviously, later on to score the winner, which is great, and we'll talk about it. But Parkinson did make changes. I don't think it's. I think it's more of a rotation up front with Fletcher and Palmer, which I think is great. I think they all serve the team really well. So I'm excited to see how this is going to continue. Lee, I think was rest. I think was definitely rest, and turned out to be good rest because he came out and scored the winner. So I thought it was fantastic. Unfortunately, we had Barnett go off with an injury, which brought Mendy on. When Mendy came on later on in the game, I think he came on in about the 60th minute. I'm not quite sure. But he came on later on, and I think he put a decent shift in, trying to get some crossings down the right. It's unfortunate that Barnett just came back from his 3-match ban for his red card, which was reckless, but. Yeah, but he went off, and also Egan O'Connell went off as well, injured, which brought on Tozer. And Tozer, for me, who I do like, Tozer, he wasn't. I don't think he was match fit, and he was only off for a couple games, but he was gave the ball away, which led to the goal for which Sutton United in the 59th minute. So unfortunately, didn't have his best outing. But, hey, this happens. We want to be positive. We want to take the positives from. We did have a win, which is great. So let's talk about that opening lineup. Yeah, so it was a 3-5-2. Okonkwo kept his place in goal. Like him in goal. I think this kid is really great talent for a loanee from Arsenal. And, I think that's great. So Okonkwo played well. O'Connor played well. He was moving into midfield a little bit, pressing the ball up a little bit. O'Connell, who did go off injured, and Tozer came on, was a start. Tunnicliffe. On the right side was Barnett, McLean, Davies, Evans, and Jones, Palmer, and Mullen, which I said before. So it's great. So, listen, the first half was our half. It was great. I thought we did really well to the point where, off a throw-in, Paul Mullen could play anywhere in any of these leagues. Maybe he's not Prem quality, but I got to tell you, his strike, his right foot, other side of the keeper, hits the post and goes in. This guy is ridiculous. I really like watching him. I really like. He does remind me, and people are going to slag me off for this. He reminds me of a Harry Kane. He's not quick, but he does things well. He drops in, and his goals are great. Left foot, right foot, header, and pressing on the ball. His 13th minute goal was a screamer outside of the box. So impressive. But it was comfortable in that first half. Even after the goal, we were still comfortable. We were kicking it around at the back. Tunnicliffe looked comfortable back there. O'Connor looked great before the injury to O'Connell. It's just a good, solid side. We just look like we're really active. And what was great is McLean and Barnett, while he was on as well, they're really great at going forward, but we're also really great at coming back and holding that line together. And there's really great communication back there. and the team seems to just work in fluidity, and I think that's coming with the growth of the season. At the beginning of the season, we're leaking goals, and it had to do with Fozzie, maybe not being at the top of his game, and like I said, I just Mark Howard, God bless him, he's fantastic, but he's not, not that he doesn't control his box. But maybe there's a more communication back there, and Okonkwo does get down better. And I just think that back line and Okonkwo are doing really well. And I think we just moved in a really great. We do keep a high line. Which is great. Midfield, I thought George Evans had a really good game. He was really breaking up the play. He's coming into his own. And I really like watching George Evans just kind of break up play and let the other guys around him. In this case, it was Davies and Jones, which gives George Davies get a good start. It's good to see him starting, but I really like him sitting there in front of that back line, who do move up really well. And like I said, they were kicking around in the back. And the first half was our half, all our half. And going into that second half, we had no changes. But Mullen and Palmer were pressing in packs, but it wasn't really making that much of an effect. But Sutton United came out, and I got to say, the manager, I think his name is Matt Gray. Matt Gray was kicking every ball for them. For a team in the basement, 24-7 points. They did not play like a team. They were in the basement. So I was really impressed with how they did. They came out that second half. They came out invigorated, and they wanted it. And they came back, and the patterns in play at this point, before the goal came in the 58th minute, the patterns of play were, one team would be happy pressing, and then we just sit back. And then Sutton would come, and then we just sit back. So it was like, okay, you take your punch until it fizzles out, or we get a goal, or you take your punch and fizzles out. The goal came in the 59th minute for Sutton United because of Tozer's error. Like I said, he's coming back. He came in, in 30th minute, so he's still going to get up to speed, and he's been out a little bit, but came from an error. And it was, to be fair, it was a great work by Smith, who crossed it in, and they came in. The player came in, who was Aiden O'Brien, came in and smacked it in. Okonkwo had no shot, but those are the goals we're giving up. They're kind of sloppy. Even though the back line is great, we just have moments of just like turning it off, and maybe that's something that we're going to work out of throughout the season. Hopefully, we do. But we can't score 5, 6, 7 goals to win games. We got to win a 2-1, which is what we did tonight. And some of the times it's like that's how it has to be. So moving on, in the 61st minute after the goal came in, Barnett was getting on it, and they battled, they muddied at the play, and they had good patterns in play. But I also think we needed to make changes. Barnett was doing well until he came off. Barnett got injured and went down in that 66th minute. It was the 66th minute, and Mendy came on, and I thought Mendy played well. But the pattern to play for that was Barnett was going down, trying to get through. It just wasn't working. I think he pulled his hamstring. He did go off on his own accord. So hey, fair play. Let's hope he gets back. So we were definitely on the back foot for that first quarter of that second half. And then going in the 73rd minute, Lee, Dalby, and Fletcher came on. Palmer, O'Connor, and James Jones came off. Maybe that's probably because, we had Notts County on the weekend. He really wanted to go to win this game. Parkinson's like, hey, we got to go and win this game. Going in this game, we were 4th. And now after we did go up to 3rd. But, the changes really didn't come in, and Fletcher wasn't in the game. Lee wasn't really in the game. And, Sutton were still on top. They penned us in, and we needed to pick up the pace. We were definitely on the back foot. So those changes, normally you get on, and Fletcher's like right in there, all in, but it just didn't have that impact. But with this team, as you know, goes down to, a moment of magic. But it's not a moment of magic where it like feels like dumb luck. It's like you earn that luck. They prep for the opportunity, and it happened. Sutton made some changes, and they came on and they made changes too in the 77th minute. And it wasn't because they wanted to sit back. They thought they saw blood. They were like, okay, we're in the basement. We have nothing to lose. I said Matt Gray was kicking every ball. And I thought that Sutton came on. They made their changes. They kept coming. And then, in the 79th minute, Mendy almost scored. Hit it off the bar with a worldie. He was outside of the boot, and like, oh, is he crossing that ball? Is he really gonna go for that? Mendy did take a pop at goal because their goalkeeper was far off the line. I think it was, who's the keeper? Dean Buzanis. Sorry, I don't mean to butcher your name. Dean Buzanis was off his line, and Mendy took a strike and he hit the top of the bar. He must have watched the Beckham doc on Netflix. So I don't know if you guys have watched that, but check out that Beckham doc. It's fantastic. Really, I don't know if you're a David Beckham fan, but fantastic documentary. Check it out. But anyways, he must have saw the Beckham doc and took a shot for it. And I thought the Mendy came on and did a great after Barnett going off. So that was in your 79th minute. And then moving forward, Sutton played well. They were still playing well in the second half. But you can feel that energy. That 82nd, 83rd minute. Everyone was going for it back and forth, and the patterns of play were like, "Oh, you take your shot, we'll take our shot. You take our shot, we'll take our shot." A possible penalty shout in the 88th minute for us, for Wrexham, didn't come through. We didn't, there was no, the ref was not having it. And I would say, like last year, I was watching the games, and it seemed like the refs were totally against Wrexham. You were going to get your best shot with the best team and with the refs, and it doesn't seem like that's the case this year so far. And they're earning their stripes. And, to be fair, for me, it wasn't a penalty shout in the 80th minute. And then it comes 89th minute, Elliot Lee. At this point, McLean was putting the crosses in. We had a bunch of crosses, and McLean usually got really good down that left side, putting crosses in, especially with, coming from the corners. And it wasn't working out. They're going over. Even the commentators, I think the commentators saying, "Can someone else take a cross for a corner?" And then, sure enough, of course, Mark Griffiths is the commentator's curse, and McLean comes down to the left side, crosses the ball in, cleared by the defender, leads at the top of the box, center, like probably dead center, takes it off his chest, ball goes down, right foot, bang, straight in. Is a bullet, an absolute bullet. He probably didn't even feel it when he hit that ball. It was so sweet. One of the sweetest strikes you will see. Elliot Lee, fantastic. The bearded man puts it in the back of the net. And guess what? Yeah, we got to battle it out for the next, 10 minutes or so. We had 6 minutes of extra time for the win. And it's a big win. It is a big win. And that's why I gave him my man of the match. Come in, make an impact. Granted, I really thought that Evans did well. I thought Mullen did well. But I'm going to give it to Elliot Lee because what a hit. He chested it down and boom. I like it. There was a scramble at the end in those last few minutes, but 3 points are in the bag. Parkinson was on the pitch. You could see the Welcome to Wrexham documentary team coming into him, and he was like just blowing. Everyone was like, "Get the F out of my face." We got the win at the home. It was fantastic. And on a Tuesday night there in Wrexham at the racecourse ground, they had 10,183 fans, 276 Sutton traveling. That's great. Not a ton from Sutton, but hey, that's great support. It's good to see. And like I said, at the end, they saw a great game. The team never gave up. The crowd never was not in it, although that we took a big punch. We took a big punch from Sutton United in that second half, and we had to get ourselves up off the floor, and that's indicative of what Parkinson has on this side, and it's fantastic to see. So hopefully O'Connell and Ryan Barnett are not seriously injured, and they can come back. We have a big game on the weekend, a big game coming up at Knox County, and Knox County. Let's look at them. Let's look where we're at coming in. So this is an away match coming up at Meadow Lane on the weekend, October 28th, 7 a.m. For me, we're going to try to do a watch along. I might set up a watch along to watch this game. So we're going to see if that happens. Hit me a DM if you guys think maybe you want to watch the game. I've seen some other places doing that. They do it for some of the larger teams, and maybe I'll try to do a watch along and just focus up, and we'll watch it together. But so Wrexham are up to third place with 27 points. Notts County are in second place with 30 points. Stockport have 32 points around top. So we're right in the mix. We're up to third, right in the mix. Today, Notts County did win. They beat Newport County 3-0. They had two goals from Langstaff and Crowley, and they're going to be up for it. This is going to be a statement game for both sides. We both came up. Obviously, we know last season we had fantastic. We had a fantastic run of play from both sides. I think Notts County have done really well in the league so far. I'm really interested to see how we line up against them, and I'm really interested to see how we fare. And I really getting the point on the weekend, which I said it's good we got the point. Getting the 3 points today. 3 points today was huge going into this weekend, and so going in, if we can win that game, it's a big statement game. Goal difference isn't that much. We have +3, they have +7, but we're 3 points behind. We're 5 points off the top with Sutton, with Stockport County, and this is going to be a banger. It's going to be a banger. It always is with this side. I think we'll be up for it, and I know it's an away match, but let's see. Like I said, hopefully that the injuries are not too big for the side, and we can go in and we can do some damage this weekend. Up to town, 3 points. Elliot Lee's to the rescue, and that is your Wrexham reaction. Have a great Tuesday, and we will see you on Saturday for Notts County versus Wrexham AFC.